Moving on to Ogun State now and talking health matters. The state government there has confirmed the outbreak of Lassa fever with a 20-year-old patient moved to one of the isolation centers equipped by the state government. Speaking with journalists at the press briefing in his office in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Babatunde Ikpaye, informed that 66 contacts who had contact with the victim have been put under observation, while asking residents not to exercise any unnecessary apprehension. The commissioner assured them of adequate response as health and surveillance officers have been put on alert for any eventuality. He, however, challenged them to always maintain good environmental and personal hygiene to contain the spread of Lassa fever.
The first case of Lassa for year 2017 was reported in Ogun State yesterday. It was a case of a 20-year-old boy who is a school sat liver and also works with some of these granite transporting companies.
Moving on away from health now to political matters. The People's Democratic Party has cleared 5 out of the 7 members aspiring to fly the party's flag in the forthcoming November 18 governorship election in Anambra State. Briefing journalists after the exercise, Chairman of the screening committee, Waziri Meina, said the qualified candidates met the criteria to contest in the party's primary slated for August 19 this year. According to Meina, the former Minister of Aviation, Stella Odwa, and the former governorship candidate under the Labour Party in the last dispensation, Ifeanyi Uba, as well as Honorable Linda Ikpeazu, were among the 5 aspirants who were cleared by the committee. He said the exercise was conducted in line with the party's constitution as well as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And the decisions of the screening panel are appealable. Anybody who is not satisfied with the decisions of the panel is free to appeal to the working committee or the caretaker committee for a reconsideration.
Also, Luka Obaze got conditional clearance, having defected from the All Progressives Grand Alliance ABGA. Honorable Akolisa Ofodike aspiration was rejected due to his dual citizenship. Ofodike, according to Meina, was disqualified under Section 182, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution. Moving on away from that, we'll move on next to Kwara State, where ahead of the local government election in that state scheduled for November 4, the Independent Electoral Commission, Kwasec, has called for more collaboration and understanding. The chairman, Kwara Independent Electoral Commission, Abdul Rahman Ajidagba, said this during the stakeholders meeting for the various political parties in the state towards successful conduct of the local government polls. Dr. Adijagba also cautioned party stakeholders against hate speeches.
They say they are urging us to maintain our integrity, which means we have integrity.
Yes. The first place.
It's different from what you said yesterday.
Meanwhile, some of representatives of political parties urged the commission to write their names in gold by organizing a crisis-free election.
This will be a foundation, especially where illusions has pervaded the minds of the populace.
What effort is the Kwasec making to ensure that all materials for voting gets to the voting centers on time?
This is a test period. I want you to please maintain your integrity, maintain your name, so that we have a cause to glorify God after this office.
The chairman of the commission also notified the political stakeholders that INEC will not make use of card readers.
And if the candidate misbehaves, what do you say? Kwasec, we want to avoid that. We are not using card readers.
Moving away from Kwara State, we head on next now to Oyo State, where Governor Abiola Ajimobi says the pervading culture of impunity has been largely responsible for the retarded growth and development of Nigeria. Speaking in Ibadan at the inauguration of boards of Judicial Service Commission, Local Government Service Commission, and Pension Board in the state, Ajimobi stated that the culture of impunity has grown as a result of the fact that the rule of law is lacking in many societies.
What our state pension, they have a lot to do with it. Because our institutions must be developed. For you to succeed in any economy, the institutions must work well.
While calling for a change of mind or mindset in order to have a better country, Ajimobi charged the appointees to be forthright in their respective field, stressing that the state government will not condone any act of lawlessness.
Culture of impunity. And I believe there's a need for us to begin to reset our minds, to have a mind change, a paradigm shift, so that this country will be a better country.
The Chief Judge of Oyo State, Justice Munta Abimbola, who spoke on behalf of the newly inaugurated commissions and boards, promised that they would not let the government down.
Reflect that, and I hope you are thankful that we shall not let you down.
Staying in Oyo, in the meantime, the state government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the federal government and the organized private sector for job creation at an event organized at Ibadan, the Oyo state capital. Correspondent Kunlojo reports that the event was attended by officials of the National Directorate of Employment and representatives from the organized private sector, among others. Governor Abiola Ajimobi, who was represented by the Commissioner for Youth and Sport in the state, Yomi Oke, said that beneficiaries were carefully drawn from various communities across the state. In his remark, the State Commissioner for Finance, Abimbola Adekambi, who was represented, said government has made provision for youth employment in this year's budget.
It is therefore necessary to admonish our partners, the organized private sector, to expose the beneficiaries to training that would allow them to compete favorably in the local market and also make them self-reliant.
To just assure you that the state government is ready to encourage those that won't be ready for the encouragement. There will be some other things as we are preparing the 2018 budget.
Southwest Zonal Director of the National Directorate of Employment, Adeola Shalfar, said the support operational program was in line with the World Bank and federal government's commitment to reducing poverty. Meanwhile, a representative of the organized private sector from Ibadan Chamber of Commerce, Shola Abodunri, cried the quality of graduates being turned out into the labor market.
Exercise. This program is completely in line and in tandem with the vision and mission of the National Directorate of Employment. So we think that this exercise is going to further help the National Directorate to achieve its mandate.
One of the greatest problems we have in Nigeria is making our people employable. Some of them are qualified. They've gone to various schools, universities, everywhere. But when it comes to putting them to employment, we discover that they are not employable.
Of Nigeria have declared absolute war on quacks as it affects all walks of life. The body in their stakeholders interactive session held in Oka, the Anambra State capital, had a far-reaching discussion to put up a modality. The national president of the association, Dr. Omede Idris, while addressing audience at the forum, lauded the running of the Anambra State chapter of the association and the selfless role in ensuring that professionalism is maintained. The guest speaker, Dr. Joseph Odumodu, a former Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, said many Nigerians die avoidable deaths, and this is owing to the activities of quacks.
I celebrate and congratulate the Anambra State chapter for this smooth transition to the pioneer leadership of the Oda Okafor SO.
Let us not say, oh, the federal government is not treating us well. Our people are not in Abuja. That is very lame excuse.
Governor Willie Obiano was represented by the Commissioner for Lands. In his remark, assured the body of the total support of the state government in ensuring that the negative effect of quacks are totally eradicated from the state. On his part, the incoming chairman of the organization, Engineer Celestine Izago, said though there are 30 participating bodies in the coalition currently, his administration will ensure more of them come on board.
That we are going to solve practical problems. It's not about the professional, it's about solving practical problems which are in our domain. So somebody that is solving practical problems, we always get the recognition.
It's the place of professionals in national development. I do not know of any nation that aspires to greatness without the professionals being an integral part of all the efforts.
With the agreement and resolution reached by the body, it is hoped that the association will go the extra mile in containing quackery. Moving on straight now to Rivers State, where the police command has paraded 70 suspects arrested for their involvement in kidnapping, armed robbery and cultism across Bori, Akpajo, Ikpobush in Ikwere local government area, Eleme, Owerri Road, among other areas of the state, while giving the summary of various operations that led to the arrest as part of the command's achievements. The State Commissioner of Police, Zaki Ahmed, said his men will continue to launch attacks on criminal hideouts.
I said we have increased motorized patrol in the area. We have additional 2 armored vehicles in the area with a view to preventing future occurrences.
CP Zaki continued that 1 SMG rifle, 1 pump action, single barrel gun, 40 cartridges, 10 magazines, large quantity of Indian hemp, 17 assorted SIM cards, 2 locally made revolver pistols, and 12 rounds of 0.9 mm live ammunition, among others, were recovered. Meanwhile, one of the notorious suspect, David John, who goes by the alias Tito Boy, confessed to the kidnap of a civil commissioner in the state. Welcome back. You're still watching Galaxy News from Rivers State. We'll move on next now to Bayelsa State. Aggrieved former local government political appointees in Bayelsa State have staged a peaceful protest in the state capital, Yenagoa, owing to the non-payment of the severance package by the government. The protesters under the aegis of Forum of former local government political appointees marched from the Yenagoa Local Government Council Secretariat and through to the Government House gate, bearing placards of various inscriptions. In his address, Chairman and legal advisor of the Forum appealed to the Bayelsa State government for urgent action.
By the provisions, we are supposed to be paid severance benefits between when our tenure elapsed and this period. They have not listened to us as regards our severance. However, some months back, some of us were paid. I mean the councillors were paid. They have come to tell our governor that our monies be paid us.
The vital aspect is that when we went to Commissioner's office, she mentioned to us that councillors came for protest and were arrested. So in order to pacify them, they started paying the councillors.
Special advisor to the governor on security matters who addressed the demonstrators promised to channel their grievances to the appropriate quarters.
Discussed severally, and I will appeal to you to have a little bit more patience. Exercise more patience. Let's not be like the story of the tortoise who have been there for 7 years. When the thing is getting ready to say go, then you say you have been there, the place is smelling. That's the proverb that I'll put to you. Now that we're almost coming to the end of it, wait a little bit. At the end of the day, you'll get your money.
You're still watching the news on Galaxy Television. Away from all of that, time now for business reports.
Here's the business report on Galaxy Television. Farmers in Plateau State are currently undergoing training on how to grow tomatoes that are resistant to the dangerous one known as tomato absoluta. Tomato absoluta has been blamed for the recent scarcity and subsequent hike in the product lately that saw the price go up about 1,000% more. The state coordinator of Fadama 3, Gideon Didam, said the training has become inevitable if the food security of the state, the Middle Belt and indeed the entire country is to be sustained, adding that they will be exposed to the best available practices.
Actually, this project is supposed to first and foremost train our farmers on agronomic practices to let them know how they can produce tomato on an economic basis.
He urged farmers from the 17 local government areas of the state gathered in Jos for the training to make adequate use of the facilities that will be given to them. On his part, the private consultant and trainee for the project, Tajuddin Emmanuel, said the vegetable production and capacity building exercise will be for a period of 1 year before it will be re-evaluated for further action. He said Plateau was chosen as a test ground due to its favorable climate and soil condition.
A new method of farming, a new best agronomic practices is being introduced to farmers first. After the adoption, because we want to see that they adopted that new agronomic, best agronomic practice being introduced to them.
Some farmers were filled with gratitude for the capacity building exercise with the hope that it would also increase their production level. Meanwhile, the Bankers Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria have inaugurated a board to facilitate the disbursement of the 26 billion naira equity fund meant for the growth of agriculture and small businesses in the country. The decision was made at the end of the 31st meeting of the committee held at the headquarters of the Central Bank of Nigeria in Abuja. The committee in February this year agreed to set up the fund where banks will transfer 5% of their profits after tax to finance the agricultural sector as well as non-oil exports. Details about the fund show that it will be used to finance eligible bankable projects that are meant to support export drive of all import substitution products. The money is also expected to be given out to businesses as loans, but will be provided by banks as equity contribution to such companies. Still in business, Dangote Group has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Kano State government for the proposed 100 megawatt Dangote Black Rhino solar power plant. The formal agreement for the project, which is to be sited at Zekirai in Gabasawa local government area of the state, took place at the office of the Secretary to the state government, Alhaji Usman Alhaji in Kano. Dangote said the MOU was another milestone in the evolving partnership between Dangote Group and the state government in their determination to bring about the much-needed improvement in the economy of the country. He described the situation of decadence in the power sector, which resulted in the decline of the status of Kano, a once vibrant industrial and commercial city in the past 3 decades, as sad. Represented by the group's executive director, Mr. Mansour Ahmad Aliko, says it is incumbent and necessary for the benefit of the people of Kano and the entire nation to restore the economy's vibrancy. He decried the power challenges which have continued to militate against industrialization and economic development in the state, saying, as we all know, Kano's preeminent status as a great center of commerce in the sub-Saharan region for almost 2 centuries has sadly declined. And finally, in business, oil prices fell on Friday after the International Energy Agency said OPEC compliance with production cuts was prolonging a rebalancing of the market despite strong demand growth. Brent crude, the global benchmark, was at $51.83 a barrel, down 7 cents, having earlier fallen 50 cents or around 1% to its lowest since August 1st. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 10 cents at $48.49 per barrel, having earlier dropped 1% to its lowest since July 26. And that's it on Business Report. I am Izinne Egasi.
Many thanks, Izinne. Away from Business Report, it's now time for sports news. Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles team arrived Cotonou, Benin Republic ahead of Sunday's first leg African Nations Championship qualifier against the Squirrels of Benin Republic. The team held their first training session at the Stade de la Mité on Friday evening ahead of Sunday's encounter. The team traveled to Benin Republic by road from Lagos after flying down from their Kano training camp earlier on Friday. Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has appointed Algerian referee Mustafa Gobal for the match starting from 4 p.m. and will be assisted by compatriots Mokran Gourari. Mohamed Serraj is assistant referee 2 and Sadiq Aquina, reserve. Former Super Eagles defender Ajibade Babalade believes Super Eagles head coach Kenneth Rao is playing mind games with his possible invitees for the 2018 World Cup qualifier against Cameroon in September. Babalade, who was in Nigeria's squad at the 1992 Cup of Nations in Senegal, said the likely recall of Odioni Gallo and Obafemi Martins means Raw is ready to bring experience into the team. From local hero Aruna Kadri to former champions Egypt's Omar Assar and Finland's Bendek Ola, as well as 2009 mixed doubles world champion Qatar's Lim Ping, emphatic victories were recovered just as South Africa's Kurt Lingevet worked his way into the round of 32 after an epic 4-3 win over Nigeria's Bode Kayode. Kurt, who was featuring in his maiden ITTF challenge, was particularly excited by the huge support from the fans. Also Indians Sanil Shetty, Scotland's Gavin Romgay, while Egypt threw of Ahmed Salah, Mohamed El Bilal and Khaled Assar also sailed through to the second round. However, some players suffered surprising defeat as former Commonwealth champion Monday Merotun was bundled out by Francis Jean Goguier. The French star beat Merotun 4-0, while Toast of Lagos Olajide Omotayo was eliminated by Russia's Vasilij Filatov despite taking a lead twice in the game. Omotayo failed to capitalize on this to lose 4-3 to the Russian. But there was consolation for the fans, with Azan beating his Egyptian opponent to get to the round of 32.